Welcome back to Midday Kentucky, everyone, live out here at Shakespeare & Co. in Hamburg. And of course, we have an institution here at the table. We're not talking David Goldman, everyone. Let me introduce you to Crittenden Rawlings. How are you, my friend?
I'm wonderful. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Okay, I have heard amazing things about you. And let's start off to begin with part of your history. Were you one of the lead guys over at Ralph Lauren?
I was president of Ralph Lauren's clothing business for several years.
Yes.
And then when I left Ralph Lauren, I became president and CEO of Oxford Clothes out of Chicago, which is the finest suit made in the world.
Beautiful.
And I was there 9 years. But I've been fortunate. I was lucky. I got into an industry that I loved, and I've been doing this my entire life.
Well, can I just jump in and ask you one more question? What maketh the man when it comes to clothing?
Well, I think there has to be a passion or a desire to want to dress properly.
Uh-huh.
You know, if there's no interest, obviously you can't dress well. You know, my father was a brilliant dresser, and I watched him dress as a young boy, and I always wanted to be, you know, dressed well and to look nice wherever I may be going or what event I may be attending. So
I agree.
Now, I have to go ahead and jump in also because I love your clothing. It's one of my favorite men's shops in Lexington, but you also have your Midway location. And one of the things is, you know, this is just a beautiful handkerchief, for example. Your clothing is constructed a little differently than most. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about the difference in your suits and jackets?
Well, while I was with Oxford Clothes, we bought some clothing from the Duke of Windsor's personal wardrobe.
Yes.
And it was softly constructed, no canvas, no heavy shoulder pad. And I fell in love with that concept. And it was timely because as the dress codes have changed and men have started to dress down, this more relaxed coat made a lot of sense. Oh. And so that's why I made that coat. And I was one of the first in the entire world that started with that construction, and now it probably represents 75% of the garments sold in the world.
Oh, amazing. Well, we're going to bring up some pictures on screen now for you, and you can talk us through what we're actually looking at. Let's bring up the first suit here. Now, this is, would you call this herringbone, or am I wrong?
Well, this pattern's called a window pane.
Yes.
And it's a navy window pane on a cream ground. And it happens to be a beautiful silk and wool quality.
I got you. Now let's bring up the next one as well.
Perfect for the races.
Perfect for the races. I got you.
Yeah, this is a brilliant, large houndstooth check, it's called, with, again, a blue window pane, but a brilliant coat to go to the races. I have a tie with it called the owner's tie and a beautiful cream vest.
That's beautiful. Let's bring up the next one, and more of a pinstripe look that we're looking at
this
as
is
well.
This is the suit I'm wearing. This is a beautiful woolen linen in a quite a bold chalk stripe. The average man, this might be a little too courageous for him, but it's a great statement.
I think it's beautiful.
It's a great look.
Nice for church on Sundays.
Exactly.
Do you like that one? Let's look at the next one now as well.
Well, the next one is a beautiful houndstooth, and this is in pure linen. And once again, I show it with the cream vest. I also mentioned something about the pocket square. You know, today, you know, the pocket square has sort of replaced the tie with many men.
I agree.
Because the necktie is not worn to the degree that it was for many years. So the pocket square has become the accent piece. I know I see you wearing, both of you wearing.
I love them. I have to say to you, like, even if I was just going out for dinner at night and just like, you know, I'll wear a t-shirt under my jacket. I just think it just brings out a little bit of the jacket as well. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of ties anymore. I used to. But I think you're right. I think you can wear the pocket square now as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Tom Ford was the one that sort of insisted that it comes back.
Right. And excuse me.
No, you're fine. I think it's so important for people to know about your connection with Keeneland, with the races coming up. And, you know, you work with the spring race event. So many of your clothing line, they're light, but yet they're comfortable and beautiful. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, Keeneland is a very special place in the racing world.
Yeah.
I've learned that since moving back to Kentucky. Many people come into my store and say it's the finest racetrack in America, bar none. There's no second. You know, the Churchill Downs is famous for one race. Keeneland's famous for a race.
Mr. Rawlings, we appreciate you coming in.
No,
if you want to find out more information about his amazing store, we'll put it all up on the screen there. There it is, everyone. We'll be back after this short break.